Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about my life story. Um, Not that anybody's interested, but maybe it would change someone else if they just heard my story and how I found God. Um, so here goes. When I was little, um, and by the way, I'm not trying to bash anybody. But this is how it happened. When I was little, uh, I was molested when I was 7. I believe it was 7, and by a neighborhood kid. I was friends with his little brother, um, and I didn't really know him. I just knew he was older, and he lured me into the dumpster at the school. And I live like literally right across from the school, so I would ride my bike up there, and he told me to ride my bike up there with him, and I did. And he took me into this enclosed dumpster. Like, it was a dumpster, but around it were these 3 walls, a long one and then 2. And I remember walking in there, and he had set up like all these toys lining the wall in the inside, and I remember thinking, God, these toys are so crappy. I specifically remember that, like, the toys were awful. Like, they were broken, and there was broken dolls and broken cars and stuff. I don't know where he got them or anything. I was just more interested in the toys. I didn't know what was about to happen. He didn't penetrate, let's just say. It just, he made me do things, so if you get the point. But anyway, so after that, I started gaining a lot of weight. I started gaining so much weight. I was huge. And I'm still big. But so I've been big my whole life. In 3rd grade is when it got really bad for me. I was made fun of majorly. I was so depressed as a child. I had severe anxiety, and at the time I didn't know that that's what it was. My mom was my hero in school. She was a lunch monitor, and she at the time, and she was amazing. She did everything she could to help me. I would stay in from recess to avoid going outside. That was one of my worst experiences at school, was to have to go outside for recess, because I would be alone. Nobody would hang out with me, and I would try. I would try and just put myself out there and just try. I'm going to go play soccer today with them. I don't care what they think. And every time I would get shot down. It was really bad for me. I had very little friends. The one friend I did have, she was just my friend because I looked better. I mean, she looked better than me. She could say that I was her fat friend, It took me years to realize that, too. She was ugly to me. She was real mean to me, but I was okay with that because she was my friend. Boys despised me. I had crushes on boys for years. I wanted a boyfriend, it would never happen because boys were not interested in me. They'd have nothing to do with me. And I guess because the boys didn't have interest in me, I wanted that more. Like, I wanted to try and get that attention, but it just didn't happen. It did not happen. And I became so big that as a 3rd grader, 4th grader, I remember it happened in 3rd grade. I wore my dad's clothes to school because I got so fat. And I believe it was because of my depression, and and also I didn't trust men. At the time, My dad wasn't the greatest. You know, he has some issues from his past, and he hadn't gotten over it, and he was real ugly to you know, me and my sister growing up. So, but he's completely changed now. He's a totally different person. That's why I'm not trying to bash him, but at the time, like, I did not trust men. I was scared of my dad, and boys didn't like me, and that guy molested me when I was little. So, men were the kind of people I avoided. After I realized boys weren't interested in me, I stopped. Like, I was terrified of men. I didn't want anything to do with them. And so, anyway, as I got older, you know, I thought, gosh, it's going to be different in high school. And I was totally wrong. High school did it for me. I realized that people are just ugly anyway. They don't care where you're from, what you've been through, what's going on in your life right now. They don't care. They're just going to be ugly to you no matter what. And my problem was I couldn't let those incidences go. I couldn't get over it. Like, I would get made fun of daily, every single day. And that happened all throughout school, period. I hated school because of that reason. I was bullied, majorly bullied. I have so many stories about what happened to me in school. And some of them are really harsh. Like, some of them really have changed me. I remember in high school, and this is so fucked up. I was in high school, and I got made fun of a lot, and I didn't have a whole lot of friends, but I knew everybody, and everybody knew me. So, but I didn't hang out with any of them. I wasn't good friends with any of them, you know. But I think that's what kept me safe. But it still didn't. It didn't stop those who were just so ugly to me for no reason. So I was in high school, and I started skipping because I was made fun of so much, and I got caught. And it was the first time I ever got in trouble for anything. And I got put into ISS, or in-school suspension, and I remember walking into this private room. It was like disconnected from the rest of the school, and I walked in, and I remember thinking, oh my God, look at all these bad kids in here. I'm not bad, and I'm in here. Oh my gosh, you know, I was so ashamed of myself. And I walk in there, and everyone's talking and throwing trash at each other, and I sit down, and people are being loud, and the teacher said, y'all need to be quiet right now. Y'all are in trouble. You know, you got to do this, da-da-da. I need y'all to write sentences, or I don't remember what it was that we had to do. But I remember sitting there, and I noticed these people were passing notes. And they were passing it to each other, and like, kind of laughing, you know, and sometimes they would look at me, and they would, sorry, I don't, try not to get emotional. Like, this shit changed me. I remember them laughing, and, you know, some would glance at me. I mean, it got passed around the whole class, and there was like 20 people in there, and the guy in front of me had it. And I don't even remember who was all in there at the time. I have no idea, but I remember that there was a boy that I had liked in there, and he had the note, and he was in front of me, and I was so nervous, and it finally got to me. He threw it behind him, and it got to me, and I remember I don't know why I thought this, but I remember thinking, oh my God, what if this is a note saying someone likes me, or, maybe that's why they were looking at me. And I had this wild thought in my head, like that was what it was. And to my disappointment, I opened this letter, and it was a picture of me. Somebody drew a picture of me naked, and it said something like, I wouldn't date this fat ass, or look at this fat ass bitch, or something. I really don't remember what it said. I just remember being fucking devastated. Like, why would you do that to me? What did I do? This kind of shit happened to me all the time. And it was nothing that I could prevent it except ignore it. And I couldn't ignore it. So eventually I dropped out. And I still hadn't had a boyfriend, even at 18 years old. I didn't have a boyfriend. So I started dating women. My best friend at the time, he's gay, and I lived that gay life with him. I kept my dating women secret. Like, I didn't even really tell my best friend, because I was like embarrassed about it, I guess, because I knew in my heart that's not what I wanted, but at the same time, I don't know how to explain it. I felt loved, it was accepting for me. And, so I played around with gay life for a while, and I started working out, and I lost 50 pounds, and I gained some confidence, and I wasn't really that confident, but I gained some confidence, and I finally met up with this guy. He liked me, and he tinted windows, and he liked me, and he was Mexican, and he didn't have his green card, and I was okay with that. Just any guy to approach me and say that, hey, you want to go out sometime, was huge for me, because that had never happened before. Like, he has interest in me. Oh my God. So I'm with him for a while, and it was the first time. No, wait, before I get to that, the first time I had sex, I was 22. That's when I met him. It was with him, and he not only had sexual intercourse. Not only did he have sex with me normally, but he sodomized me that night too. And that changed my whole world upside down too, because it was painful. And here we go again, with the trusting men thing. Like, fuck, like, is it gonna be any better? And I was with him on and off, because no one else paid no mind to me, and he did. And I know it sounds pathetic, but even though he hurt me so bad, and he cheated on me and all sorts of stuff, and anyway, I was on and off with him for a while, and so then I was single again, and I decided to move to. This is going to be a long video. God, I'm halfway. I'm about halfway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop it and make another one. This is too long. Yeah, let me stop it. I'm gonna make another video, and I'm gonna upload this one right now. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna make the second one to my life story.